Hi, I am 3D Greenhorn. Since recently, I have started creating some short 4 to 5 minute Blender tutorials on this channel. If you are someone who is interested in how to make these kinds of art on your own, or even if you simply want to enjoy the art process, check out the videos in the playlist as well, from the link down in the description. In today's video, I'll try creating a coffee shop with Blender. Hope you guys will like it. Let's get started. I started by creating a basic shape of the coffee shop with the default cube. Then I added some loop cuts to create additional faces, and extruded them in. Then I added a bevel modifier to it. Then I added a camera, and set its resolution to something square. Selected the top faces, scaled them up, extrude, then inset and extrude in. Then I duplicated the face, and scaled it down, and extruded it up. Then I selected this face, and inset it, and extruded inside. Then I duplicated and separated it, to create the window. Subdivided it, inset, invert selection, and extrude. I then did the same thing for the doors. I then added a curve above to create some pipes. In curve properties, increase the depth. Move the top point to the right side, and then duplicated it. Lowered down the resolution, to make it a bit low poly. Then to create the awnings, I added a cube top of the window, and beveled the top edge in edit mode. I then separated the curved part, and then deleted the rest. Then added a subsurf modifier, and scaled it down in the x-axis. Then I removed some edges to get curvier bottom, and then moved it a bit to the front. I then moved it to the side, and added an array modifier to it. I then added an icosphere, to act as a knob, and then scaled it down. I then wanted some bricks, to stick out of the wall, so I duplicated the side face, and scaled it down. Then I separated it, and extruded it. I then created some more duplicates. Then I duplicated this top face, scaled it up, extruded it up. Then I added a text, and typed in coffee, in edit mode. Then in the text properties, I changed the font type, and then extruded a little bit. Lowered down its resolution as well, to make it a bit low poly. I then added a plane, and extruded down. I then added another plane, and extruded it down as well. Then for the table, I added a circle with 8 vertices, and fill type to n-gon. After adding a solidify modifier, I increased its thickness. And then I also added a subsurf modifier. I inset the top face. Then I duplicated it, and scaled down to create the leg. I applied the solidify modifier, and then added a mirror modifier to it. I selected the tabletop as the offset. Then I selected the bottom vertices, and moved them slightly away from the table. Then I shaded smooth, and duplicated them. Scaled them down, and moved them down as well. Then I selected 2 faces from the top, separated them, and moved them up. Then increased the thickness, and then added 2 loop cuts, to tighten out the edges. I then duplicated again, and scaled it down. Increased the thickness, and then I added a mirror modifier to it. I then selected the backrest as the mirror object. I then duplicated this chair, and placed that at the other end. I added a plane for the menu board, added a loop in the middle, and then moved it above. I then added another loop cut, and beveled that for the wooden sides. After I adjusted the scale a bit, I added a text. I aligned the text to the view, and scaled it down. Then I wrote down something meaningful in edit mode. I then added a circle with 16 vertices, and fill type to n-gon. I scaled it down, and then extruded it. Extruded again, scaled up a bit, extruded again. Added a subsurf modifier to it, and inset the top face, and extrude inside. I then added a plane, and scaled it down. Then added some loop cuts, and merged the top vertices. Then from side view, moved the vertices to create the shape of a leaf. I then duplicated some more of it, and rotated some of them a bit. I then joined them together, added a solidify modifier, and also a subsurf modifier. I then scaled it up, and then moved it down. I duplicated it, and made that smaller. I added a plane, and extruded one of its edges, in z-axis. After applying the scale, I added a bevel modifier to it, and also rotated it. For the lamp post, I added a cylinder with 16 segments, then I duplicated the top face, and then extruded it up. Then I activated the spin tool, changed the axis to Y, and made a rounded shape for the post. I then scaled up the end face, and placed an icosphere there, and scaled that down. I then duplicated it, and placed it on the other side. For the rocks, I simply added another icosphere, scaled that down, and duplicated it. For the grass, I duplicated the plant from here, and scaled that down. And finally for the clouds, I borrowed the sphere from the rock, and then scaled and rotated the duplicates. I then added materials to all the objects. Since the table was looking a bit empty, I decided to duplicate the plant from there to here. I then changed the render engine to cycles and added a point lamp. Then I moved it up and increased the power and then the radius. I then duplicated this lamp to the front and also one to the back. Then I adjusted the cloud position a bit. And finally, in the color management, I set the exposure to 1 and changed the look to high contrast. Let me know if you would like to buy coffee in this coffee shop in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.